Welcome back, everybody. And it looks like we have someone already there. Hi, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, but I'll tell you, it was a very busy day. I drove 474 miles today, straight through, and delivered my load.
We did. You did. And we're going to talk a bit about that later. Um, and so people have joined us already, haven't they? Who have we got there, bro?
We have Andrew Norris with us. Hey there, everyone. Evening, Gabe and Jeff. Any news on Merlin?
None yet.
That's something that we need to cover. Also, we have Emma. Emma's with us tonight. Emma, dear Emma. Gabriel has he has a present for you that you will love. You just have to get in touch with Gabe, and he will deliver it. He will set it up. He will teach you how to make it chatter with you all day. You will love it. We have Ed with us tonight. Evening all, and Ryan. Of course, we have Ryan with us. That rambling man, always seeking a free meal, Ryan.
Absolutely. I bumped into dear Ryan today. I was walking up the high street and I saw the free food outside the church. And before I even got there, I thought, oh, Ryan will be up there. And sure enough, as I walked past the bench, hello, Glastonbury Gabriel. There he was. It's lovely to see you today, Ryan. And keep safe, buddy. So, as more people come in, we will start the show. Now then, we've had an interesting 2024, and we've had an interesting 2025 coming our way. And later on, we're going to have a little look back at some of the things that happened in 2024. But in the meantime, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you've just walked into your freezer and you are now at a temperature of around minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And imagine how cold that would be. And now I can tell you that that is the temperature that Jeff here has been driving through for the last week. It has been so cold, trucks freeze up. Tell us all about it, Jeff, because you've had a bit of a week, haven't you, buddy?
Oh, man, the truck that was parked next to me, he gelled up. His fuel gelled, and they had bear of time getting it running, and just broken down trucks along the road. And all the stuff that I've encountered the last couple of days has been very rough. It's been very rough. I asked very nicely if I could have something going south. And so I think my next run, I'm going to Alabama, which they've had snow down there too, but I think they're rebounding quicker than we are.
Yeah, although there's supposed to be a superstorm coming up from the Gulf, isn't there, at the moment? So hopefully that won't come to much. But no, it's been, I mean, Jeff has kind of palms it off really, but it's absolutely, the roads, you can't see them sometimes because the snow is blowing it across the road. And of course, Jeff is in the west, so he's come across the Rockies and the mountains, and he's come down onto the plains and to Nebraska now. So going over those mountains, it was touch and go at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, I went right over the roof of the world. I went right over the Continental Divide across Wyoming, and it was an adventure. I had Jackie a little while ago ask me if I was anywhere near California, the fires, and I told her no. I'm actually at the Sapp Brothers truck stop in Omaha, Nebraska right now. I just pulled in here.
Which, if you want to know where that is, kind of put a pin almost in the center of North America, and you won't be far away from where Jeff's at.
You know, that's kind of an interesting story because the four corners were the four states. What is it? Colorado, New Mexico, where the four states come together. Yeah. They had a monument, and after they launched satellites, they discovered that monument was off by miles. It wasn't a matter of feet; it was miles.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, wasn't it?
The One Ring Ponderer just came with us. Greetings, everyone. Happy New Year. Yes, our poor Ponderer has had a mixed bag this last year. Um, their family welcomed a new family member, little Kelly, joined their family. Everyone should be jealous because she gets the world's greatest granddad. And they've had times when they didn't feel good, and they've had stuff going on. So everybody think good thoughts and hope that the punter has a better year this year.
Yeah, here's to that. Here's to that.
Everybody's asking about Merlin.
I was just going to come back to Merlin. Merlin normally crops up. Normally I can ring him or I can bump into him. I've not seen Merlin since before Christmas, so I am quite concerned. I've put a Facebook post out asking if anybody has seen him or if anybody has his address. Because if I can get his address, I will go round and see what's going on, because I can't find anybody who's seen him in less than a week. He was seen just under a week ago.
I'm kind of getting concerned about him myself. I know I've reached out to him, but he didn't answer me. What can you do,
Yeah, Merlin and technology are not an easy mix. They're like oil and water. They don't go together very well.
No, if you look up the term Luddite in the dictionary, his picture is there in full color.
It is. I mean, so the fact that he's not answering the phone isn't too concerning, because when he's fine, he doesn't really get on very well with phones. However, I have put the word out, so hopefully we'll hear something back from, the community, because Glastonbury is a very good community. And when it comes to stuff like this, people tend to bandy around. And I kind of take solace in the fact that if anything was wrong, I think there's enough people around Merlin that we would have heard if there was anything wrong. So I don't know. He did talk to me about going to Spain before Christmas, back at the beginning of December, but for whatever reason, that didn't happen. I know he lived out there for a while, so he may have changed his mind and gone to Spain. I don't know. But please, everybody, be quite satisfied that as soon as I hear anything, I'll put it out. Everybody will hear that he's okay, hopefully.
Station Master says dreadful stuff in the USA right now. Yes, we have fires. We have all kinds of stuff. That fire in California is devastating. They had 100-mile-an-hour winds today. Can you imagine?
Caused by the flames?
No, they have a phenomenon. They have two phenomena in LA. When you live there, you know about. The first one is they have May gray and June gloom, which is the sky is gray every day in May and June. And the other phenomena they have is they have Santa Ana winds, where the wind blows across the desert and it's a hot wind that blows. And when you get dry conditions and Santa Ana winds, it's bad. It's fire danger is unbelievable.
Not so good.
Andrew Norris says, the Rockies, Jeff. I always think of John Denver and Rocky Mountain High. Yeah, I'll tell you an interesting fact about John Denver. His father was a bigwig in the American Air Force. And at one time, his father held pretty much all of the records that there was to have as far as endurance flying and who flew the highest and who flew the fastest. He held pretty much all the records. Ed says, yes, and I always think what Jeff would be doing, hopefully somewhere between fire and snow. Yes, I'm in Omaha. It's very cold here. It's like, 15 degrees or something, but it's very nice. The sun is shining. It's very nice. Allison O'Brien, evening, Gabriel and Jeff. Hope you are well. I got my blood tests today. I am low on iron.
Oh, that's quite common in the winter, isn't it? People get low on iron.
Yeah, well, it's easy to remedy, though.
Yeah, just nibble on an iron bar.
Station Master says, I'm very concerned about Merlin.
Yes, well, we all are, and as soon as I know where he lives, I can go and see him. There are posts out on Facebook which you may have seen today, Bernie, um, where I'm asking who knows what, and that's my cat's arse. I'm sorry about that. Who knows what and anything. So as soon as we get any news, everybody will know.
Well, of course, the kitty's going to come. You're talking, so you know you're talking to the kitty.
Absolutely, aren't I? In fact, they're gonna. They've got. We're going to talk about the kitties in a little while, aren't we, Kitty? Yeah.
We have Abigail with us. Abigail, good evening, boys. Hope
Hey.
Merlin is okay. Sweet
Yeah.
the cat says my mom said she saw him last Wednesday.
Really? So he's been seen. What's that? A week ago. He's been seen in the last week. Good. Well, that's something.
Emma says, I'm sorry I have to pop out on my scooter. Hopefully I'll be back before you finish. We have Kathy Bonner with us tonight. Good evening, new subscriber. Welcome, Kathy. Welcome.
Hiya. Hiya. Nice to see you here.
Mary Fennell's with us. Good evening, Gabriel and Jeff. Ryan says, I'm doing gardening at the Red Brick Building this Friday with David and with Adam.
Good. I was up there yesterday. I had to put a drone up over some buildings down there, and they're right next door to the to where Ryan's garden is. And I was thinking, oh, Ryan will be going back there soon, and then here he is telling us he's going back there on this Friday. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just want to, while we're here, while Poppy's here, I'm just going to run a bit of VT if I can find it and get past the cat. Excuse me. Where are we?
I thought maybe you were going to give her kitty crack.
Oh, we could, couldn't we? Have I got some kitty crack here? Where is it?
I will explain while you're looking that there are some cat treats that they sell that your kitty absolutely loves, and we call them kitty crack because that's what they are. They're addicted.
They are completely addicted. Is this it? I can't see. Oh, this is it. Because we're blue light. What's this? Oh.
Kathy says, Andrew, I don't have a TV. I used YouTube a lot. Kathy, I share your. I use YouTube. I watch YouTube every night. I don't carry a TV in the truck. I have a very nice TV in my RV, but no, I don't carry one in the truck.
Sorry about this. I'm being forced at gunpoint here.
I think she's telling you it's time for kitty crack.
Yeah, I think she is. And watch this. What's that? No, eat it. Don't nuzzle it. I'll put it down. There you go. Yeah, that's getting eaten. So, yes, before we do anything else, tonight is quite, a monumental occasion. Momentous occasion?
Momentous, yes.
Momentous, maybe even monumental. Who knows? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, members of the royal family, tonight I can announce that this show is exactly 1 year old. 1 year old. We first broadcast on the 9th of January last year. And if I can see, I've got a light right in front of my face and it makes this very difficult to see. If I can find this past the cat, where is it? Can't see past you. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you the very first moment of our very first show. And the clue is Poppy the cat here. Let's have a look. Well, apparently, according to the button in front of my face, we are now live, my brother. If you can hear us or see us in the comments, please, somebody, will you say so? Because I haven't got a clue what's going on. So we're just going to carry on as if it's working because we can't assume otherwise until somebody tells us. So hello and good evening. Jeff has just been kicked off again. We're having a few issues, I think, here. I'm just going to get rid of the pussycat and bring Jeff.
Buddy, it's Jeff.
No, that's not it. Right, so this is our first attempt at this. So everything's going to go wrong. Now, basically, we were going to do this at the end of January. We were getting ready for the end of January, and we were planning for the end of January. But then we had a brainwave because Jeff has gone and got himself stuck in a huge, great snowstorm. Now, that snowstorm means he is stuck. But Jeff is very clever because what he did is he planned it so that he got stuck in the biggest truck stop in the world. So we decided this would be a good opportunity to let's just see if it all works while he's stuck there where he is. So without any further ado, I wish I had a drum roll ready to go. I don't have one, but if I did, it would come in about now because, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Can you hear me? Obviously not. So there you go.
Say
something. That's us. No. That's us a year ago.
Say something.
Well, that's
we've had 2 days where we've had serious problems. That day and the day that I was in Pratt, Kansas.
Yes. Yes, but I mean, we were talking about the freezer tonight and the cold, and that very first show, you were stuck in snow in what is the biggest truck stop in the world.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to go back there someday, and I'm going to film the museum and everything because Andrew Norris was really interested.
I would love to see that truck museum. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it, I swear. We have Ian with us tonight, the hardest working man on the British Isles.
Good evening, Ian. Nice to see you here.
Everyone's asking him if he's had any snow. Ian says, my cat Willow demands water from the bathroom tap.
Yeah, she does
there
that.
You go.
Yeah, she does that.
It's the best water on the planet. You know, it's ice cold and, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and she sort of sits there with her front paws in, her back paws up in the air, and her front paws down in the bowl going like that, licking it. Don't you?
Station Master says the show has come a long way in a year. Has it? Has it, Station
We're
Master?
hoping so. Well, maybe we've got the lighting a bit better, and Jeff's now horizontal. That's good. Oh dear. So working along, I would just like to, for those of you who are new here, and there's a few new people, we have two cats who are also part of the show, and I would, Poppy, please don't. You've eaten it. That's the empty wrapper. Look, now Sid's here, and I've got to sort Sid out now. Oh dear. You can't keep anything quiet, can you? Poppy, I need you to go away. I can't find what I've done with the kitty crack. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry about this. I'm going to have to roll VT because I don't know where the kitty crack is. And I've got Sid here now. This is Sid. And for those of you who don't know who they are, I thought I'd do a little introduction video so that you can see who they are. This is Poppy. Poppy. Oh, do you know what? This mouse keeps disappearing. Poppy is 11 years old, and her son Sid is about 18 months younger. So this is Sid, the black cat, and Poppy, who you've seen before, is the mum. So I've got a mother and son, and they normally get along. I mean, they're both here now, but other times things can disappear. If you hear
so in other words, Mama was a house cat and Daddy was a traveling cat food salesman.
He was a traveling cat food salesman, a grey one. I know who he was, and he gave Poppy his colours. In fact, he was quite well known around about that time. And when I walk into town, I see several cats between here and town who are all the same coloration as Poppy and about the same age. So I'm pretty certain that that's what went on there.
There's a grey cat in the world that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Sid, here's Poppy, and of course I've given one of them cat crack, and now they're both. She's looking for a second helping, and he's looking for a first helping. So Absolutely nothing will now get done. So maybe giving them cat crap was a bad move.
Ian says the snow started, but it's gone now. And Kathy says, Ian, lucky you. I've not opened my front door to see if we still have it here. It is too cold.
Yeah, it is cold, isn't it?
I'll trade you. I'll trade you. When I got up this morning, it was 18 degrees below 0 Celsius.
That's cold. That's just effectively, that is too cold, isn't it, really? Look, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go and find you something in a minute. You'll just have to wait. I can't find anything right now. Sorry about this. The cats have taken over the asylum, haven't they? Yes, they have. So, a couple of things. Jeff, are there anybody in the comments still taking us seriously?
Ryan says, I can't believe we are in January and can't wait for the light in the evening.
I know. And what's Pussycat? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Cat stepped on a button. There we go. She obviously wants to see more of herself on the screen. Now, look, what are you guys doing? Please don't do that. Look, there's nothing under the... Oh, hang on. Is there anything there? No, there's nothing there. I thought he'd found the kitty crap, but he hasn't.
Station Master says the Scottish Highlands have similar temperatures.
Yes, and they're going to get warm soon because of the way the weather's working. The north potentially is going to start seeing warmer temperatures in the next few days, which they probably need by about now. Look, you two, please, come on. I'll find the kitty crap later. Just give me a space. I do apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen. I blame Jeff. He told me to give them kitty crap.
My fault.
So anyway, what we're going to talk about? Yes, a couple of things. Look, you're in front of me light. There we go. Couple of things. Where's my book gone? Oh dear, Cats. See what you started? I can't find my glasses now. No, look, this is getting beyond the joke, you two. See,
this is where I think to myself when I think about someday I'd like to have a cat. This is where I'm like, no, I'm glad that I'm by myself. I just have Pete.
So I would like to explain something to the ladies and gentlemen watching tonight. These cats, and Jeff will verify this, eat the finest food and the most expensive food that the supermarket. Don't start nicely. Hang on, what's going on? Have I lost everybody? Oh, look, come on, this is getting a joke now. Hang on, everybody. The cats have cleared the screen.
You're still on. You're still going.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry if I disappeared there. The cats had a fight, hit the buttons, and everything went wrong. So I'm back again, hopefully. What was I talking about? What was I talking about, Jeff? Can you remember?
No, I'm kind of lost too. Station Master says the loneliness of the long distance broadcaster.
Sound now. Oh Christ!
Can you not? You're going out.
Go away. Go away. 112221. That's connected into that. Go away. Come on. Oh, why have I got no sound now? I don't know what the hell's going on. Sorry, I got that. Can you hear me?
Yes. You
can hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear anything. So I'm just going to have to carry on. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when you give cats kitty crap halfway through a show. We won't be doing that again. Right. So recently, Jeff and I have been talking about this channel, Glastonbury Gabriel, which, as you all know, is my YouTube channel. Now, sorry, but Cat, please don't do that. We were thinking that some people have said to Jeff they found this tall tour, what we called ourselves, whatever we're called, from the tour, difficult to find. Now it's basically at the moment it's just a live stream on Glastonbury Gabriel, the YouTube channel. However, I have spoken to Jeff, and we think it might be a good idea that will help people find the channel better if Tales from the Tour becomes a YouTube channel in its own right. So that's what I'm going to do. Sometime in the next few shows, you're going to see that the address will change. You should still get links, but we will need you to sort of come along and watch it and do all that sort of thing.
It'll make it easier to find, and it'll make it easier.
You kind of get these reminders sent through Glastonbury Gabriel. So I think you'll have to sign up and subscribe to that channel to get. I don't know. I'm going to look into it and I'll let you know. But it's a good idea, and it separates the two, and it means that there's no confusion and people can come and find us. Now, I still don't have a clue why I've got no power, because basically the cats just went blah, 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 ran everywhere, hit all sorts of buttons, and I don't know. There's probably a mute button here somewhere. I can't see anything because this is so I don't know. So we're going to have to carry on the show like this. I'm terribly sorry for that. Let's have a look. Now then, Jeff said he wanted me to ad-lib tonight. Jeff, can you read through the comments?
Allison says, I need to do a video of my guinea pigs when they do their popcorning. Guinea pigs are known to do popcorning. It's fun to watch doing this. I will have a video for the next show. That's good. That'll be a lot of fun to have to see that. Looking forward to that. Ernie's with us. Ernie came in. Snowed a bit in Dorset, settled, but not enough to ski on. Kathy says, I have a family up my road where there's 2 young boys. I saw them earlier with sledges going over to the park, I suspect. That would be fun. I remember when I was a kid, we lived a short time in a town. It was Goldendale, Washington, and they had snow. It's the only time I ever lived anywhere that had that got regular snow. Let's see. That's pretty much. Ian says cats rule the house. Yes, cats rule his house.
Sorry about that. I can hear now. I don't know what's going on. They've muted my main channel. Sid, don't do that again. Look. No. They muted something. I don't know what they've done. I can hear everybody again. Thank God for that. Let me close this down. I've also tried new lighting tonight, and I've put a new light for me.
Well, let's get back to discuss Tales from the Tour. The idea is to make it easier to find, to have a base for us to do that and all that, and also for the future we can for sponsorship.
Yes, absolutely. Hang on, I just need to do something.
It is 1 1/2 minutes. We are getting close to that magic moment. If you know him, you love him, our station master. We need to keep you around. The world's better for having you. It's that time.
I just want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I've tried a different lighting technique in here tonight using 3 lights, and I've got a light right in front of me, and it's not working. It's blinding me. I can't see where the mouse is or anything. So if you see me looking like this, it's because I can't see what's going on. and I can't change the lighting arrangement until next time we come on, and I won't make that mistake again. Anything else in the comments before I go on, Jeff?
Mary says, never work with children or animals. That was an old vaudeville saying. I would love to know where she heard that.
Yeah.
Station Master says, yes, I've got it here. Thank you. Pill taken.
Yeah, excellent. Nice one.
He also says, what would I do without you?
Well, on the other 13 days of the fortnight, I don't know how you managed. We're only there once every 14 days, but we do our best. We do our best. I would like to talk about something, unless there's anything happening in the comments, Jeff.
Just a couple things real quick. Paul, the Wandering Punter says, the power pills. Sweet the Cat says, Ryan, I listened to your radio station on Friday. It was very good. Yes, our Ryan is on the radio. If you want to tell people where he's at. Mary says, I am an old fossil, Jeff.
Talking about Ryan's show, I'm going to be going on to Ryan's show soon to talk to him on the radio, and because he's been on ours, and so I'm going on here, so that'll be fun. See how he puts it all together. So yes, something a little different for you now. This is a tradition that started in 2002 on the New York subway. And when you see, I'll tell you what this tradition is, you'll probably understand why it started on the New York subway. In 2002, a group of people decided to travel on the subway sans trousers, as it were. And it caught on. The idea being you weren't flamboyant about it. You didn't wear garish stuff. You simply walked into the station as if you'd forgotten to wear your trousers, and there was nothing wrong. So there were just loads and loads of. Let me give you an idea. I'm just going to struggle past this light again. Let me show you this. Now this is last year's event on the Underground, where people turned up with no trousers and travelled on the Underground for the afternoon. It doesn't raise money for charity. It's just something really silly to do. And lots of people turn up and do it. As you can see, look at this. There are loads and loads of people turning up, taking off their trousers, travelling on the tube. So the question I put to you, this is Waterloo Station, by the way, the concourse under the clock at Waterloo Station. And as you can see, many, many people have doffed their trouserage. So I was talking to Jeff today, and we were thinking, wouldn't it be a good idea if I went and filmed this year's event, which is taking place in London on the Underground this very coming Sunday? And we thought, yes. But how much better would it be if I didn't just go and film it, but I took part in the event? So what we want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we want you to say, I'm asking you now, should I go and film this event and bare my legs to the world? A simple yes or no in the comments. And if there's more yeses than no, look out for this film next time we meet, because I will be...
I'll give $100 to charity if you go up to Mohammed shop in your underwear.
Oh no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going. No, he wouldn't see the funny side, bless him.
He would bounce you out on your ear.
The way this works is you meet up at the Pagoda in London's Chinatown with your trousers on. Because it's cold, you then go down into the station and take your trousers off and hop on a train. They split the group up, because lots of people turn up, into groups of about 10 or 15 people in a group. And these groups just travel around London as if nothing was wrong. Reading books, talking on their phones, sitting there looking out the window. as if it's a normal day on the tube, and they haven't got their trousers on. Now, if the votes go in the yes direction, I will.
All the votes are yes. Mary Fennell says yes. Ryan says yes. Allison says yes. Station Master posed a question. He said, "Can the world survive Gabriel's legs?"
That's a good question.
We've lost Kathy. Kathy says, "Gotta go. Daughter's on the phone." Bye, Kathy. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you come back. Ed says, "Yes, but you might end the event forever."
I could tell you a bit about this. It was started in 2002 by a group. I can't think what they were called, and they ran it, and it's run every year, and it's gone all around the world. They do it in Australia, anywhere where there's a subway. This takes place. Now, apparently, the original groups did it for the last time last year, but one of the members of the group thought, no, I want to carry this on. So this is his second one now, because he did one last year and he's doing this one. So this is his second event. Other ones around the world have stopped. I believe the one in New York no longer continues. Only in Britain, only in London does this continue. So it popped up on my Facebook feed, and I thought, in the interest of journalism, I have to take one for the team and go down to London and bear my all.
You will be, this is important for journalism.
It is. People need to see what's going on the London Underground and what's happening.
Do you own a pair of those 1950s sock suspenders?
I will be donning a pair of sock suspenders, and I will be purchasing a pair, because most of my underpants probably wouldn't want to be seen in public. So I'm going to purchase a pair of boxer shorts for the day. Yes, so I will have my sock suspenders. So ladies, if you find that too appealing a sight, I warn you, just don't watch the video. You might not be able to control yourself at the sight of me in sock suspenders.
Ponder is asking if we're going to have Tor branded underwear.
Well, this is it. We could, yes. I mean, I guess so. Why not?
Ian says, "Gabriel, make sure your fronts are stitched up. If you don't do that, we'll know that your memory is not your shortest."
I have a plan. I fully intend to have boxer shorts, but I will wear a pair of skin-tight cycling shorts underneath them. So I will not be letting anybody see anything that they don't want to see, because, it'll put them off their dinner, and it's you don't want that. And they do say that the rules are no, they don't want people wearing thongs. They don't want people wearing semi-transparent or transparent underwear. And they basically want you to look like you've just forgotten to wear your trousers and make as if nothing's happening.
To pull the curtain back and show the wizard behind the curtain, like in The Wizard of Oz, I'm sure that you will tell these people what I'm saying is true. One of my biggest contentions about YouTube is our number one video is the one that you did where people got painted. I mean, that video got thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and I find that very offensive.
Yeah, I did a video it was about a year ago in January. They had a body painting event at the town hall. They're quite common, and people obviously remove their clothes and they're painted. But when you're painted, you can't really see that they're naked, and they put on a show. And I did two videos, one of the actual show, and I did one of the event where they were being painted, because I knew a lot of the people doing the painting. I knew a lot of the people being painted. So I did it. That's got nearly 200,000 views, that video. Can't understand it. It just went zip, like that. It just took off. Well, I reckon before it stopped gaining views, because it's still today gaining views, about 400 views a week. It will eventually, I think, reach nearly 250,000 views. It may take a bit of time, but it will get there.
Station Master says, "But it's not going on, it's coming off." Thread Gold's Thorough Grip Girders.
Now that's starting to sound a little bit kinky. The whole thing
Heather
about
says, would your tour underpants open at the west door?
Oh, I see where you went with that. That's clever. I like that.
That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Darren Tribe says, Happy New Year, Gabe and Jeff. Love from Gail and Darren.
Hi guys. And the minute I hear about Merlin, I'll give you a call. Okay. The minute I know anything, I'll call you guys because they know Merlin. These are the guys we took Merlin up to see last year. I'm sure you've seen the film. Where I bought my tweed jacket that I still wear every day when it's not too cold, which it is at the moment, sadly. We were talking about that earlier on today.
Was that the jacket you were talking about earlier that you said you had your 60-hour was in the pocket waiting for it to be cold enough to wear?
I don't know if you can see it, but it's hanging on the door over there. If I do this, you'll probably see it. Ding, ding, ding. If I do da, da, da. Which one do I want? This one. If I do this, can you see it hanging on the door up there? Ready to go. That's my tweed jacket with my watch in it. And as soon as it gets warm enough to wear it, that's
your 60-hour is different than Station Master's. Yours has a very special Canadian dial.
It does. Give me 2 seconds. Keep the audience talking, yeah?
Let's see. Station Master says the trousers come off, the garterettes go on. The clue is in one word: beachcomber.
Nearly there. 2 seconds.
Yes, your watch is different than the Station Master's because the dial was made for an engineer, a train engineer, someone that drove the train that relied more on minutes than hours.
Yeah, this is my beloved 60-hour. I mean, I do have other pocket watches, and they're all pretty much railroad pocket watches. But this one, I don't know. Hopefully, you can see that has a Ferguson dial on it. Now you
need to put it on the main screen instead of the other one.
Oh, we're still hang on. Yeah, let me do this. I can't see my mouse with this light in my face. Oh, where is it? Is it that one? Or is it this one? This one's probably better. Yes. So as you can see, maybe you can see on the dial that the large numbers, instead of the hours, are actually the minutes. And the small dark numbers in the middle are actually the hours. Now, the reason for that is the railroads in America, the position of the train on the line is heavily governed, strictly governed by time. And we're not talking minutes, we're talking seconds, because if they get it wrong, they crash like they did in Kipton in 1891. So the idea is the engineer, or what we would call the engine driver, had to have very accurate, easily readable watch dials so that they could guess, or they could see at a glance what minutes they were. So they knew if they were going over a point or a junction or arriving into a station, that they were actually at the right time. And I just love these dials. They're my favorite dials. I absolutely adore them. And to have one in a 60-hour like this is so lucky.
That watch is totally bespoke, though, because it's in a factory salesman sample case, which was never sold to the public.
No, never sold to the public. And you need one of these to open it, which is why I have a second chain with a case opener on it, which again is very old. You can't really see these. I would actually have to make a film to show the details, but they are there.
And it also has tri-ends for a train engineer that drove the train across time zones so that he wouldn't have to reset it.
So you got 2 hour hands there. it's a bit like it's quite funny actually, because when you go into Bristol on the Corn Exchange, there's a clock there, and that has 2-minute hands. This has 2-hour hands, because if you're traveling west to east or east to west, you're going to be jumping by an hour every time you cross a time zone. So you can see very easily what time it's going to be in the time zone you're approaching or the one you're just leaving. In England, the railways brought about a similar time zoning, in as much as Plymouth was about 12 minutes behind London, because obviously we travel east to west. So London got to noon before Bristol did. So they had this clock that at one point they had loads of them all around the city, and it has 2-minute hands. So one has London time, one has Bristol time, and they were introduced after London time, or railway time as it was called, was introduced across the country, and suddenly overnight everybody in the United Kingdom knew exactly what time it was, because it was the same time wherever you were, which meant you didn't have to work out where the sun was if you wanted to catch the 8:45 to London, because you knew that the 8:45 to London would turn up at 8:45 on your watch, and it wouldn't be 8:55 or anything like that. So yes, interesting watches with double hands. Anybody need comments there, Jeff?
Station Master says, I'll put you out of your misery. Spike Milligan started a program called The World of Beachcomber. It featured a spoof advert for Threadgold's Thorough Grip Gardettes. Yeah, there was a radio program here in America. It was called The Prairie Home Companion. It was on for like 30 or 40 years. And they had several spoof adverts that they did during that show too.
Spike Milligan was a genius. I loved his books. I loved his war books. I've read them all multiple times.
Robin Williams said he was the greatest comedian that ever lived.
I think that's, yeah. I mean, he lived in his own little world, and it was like Spike World. And you only have to look at his drawings and his paintings just to know that, this is a man, on a separate planet. But it was a very, very funny planet. I mean, Puckoon was the first book of his I ever read. Puckoon. It's absolutely hilarious. If you have not read Puckoon, go and read Puckoon. You'll just sit there. Don't read it in public, because you'll be sitting there laughing your head off, and you can look stupid in public. Go on, Jeff.
I really like that the book that the guy in Coggeshall wrote about the firemen, and the name completely eludes me. I'm hoping the Ponderer will help me out.
Yeah.
The book that he wrote about the fire hall in Coggeshall, I really like that. But that book it's written by an author nobody's ever heard of, but it's very, very, very good. And my all-time favorite book of all time, I have to say, is the River Horse by William Lee Steepmoon. I love that book. I probably read it 50 times. I'll read it 50 more before I die, I'm sure. Station Master says Trevor Deasley. Yes, Trevor Deasley's book. He on the fire department in Coggeshall. It's fascinating. He talks in there about that, when they knew war was coming, when World War II was coming, the preparations that they had to make, and the things that they had to think about. They would have a meeting, and they would, sit down, and they would say, well, if we get bombed and it's a dry day, or if it's a rainy day, and they tried to make lists of all the things they would need. It really is a fascinating book.
I'd like to read that. Yeah, I would like to read that. It does sound interesting.
Firemen and Other Mishaps by Trevor Deasley. I really enjoyed that book. I really did.
Excellent. Firemen and Other Mishaps. Well, I think I might get myself a copy of that at some point. That does sound interesting. I just want to move on, because a couple of other things I want to mention tonight. Street Post Office. Now, we have a high street in Glastonbury, which has got a post office on it, so we're okay. Street has a post office. There's two post offices. One is right out at the end of the town, and one's in the town centre. The one in the town centre was housed within a WH Smith's. The WH Smith's closed, which meant that the post office closed. And I went down there and did a little short, which I'll show you in a minute from it. But I'm showing you this because I'm trying to start a discussion. Are you losing your post office? Have you lost one? Is your post office in danger of being shut down? Because I'm hearing stories that these are not infrequent events. So I wanted to see how, if anybody else has had this experience. Now, I believe, I can't say much, but I believe there are plans which may involve a post office reopening in street at some point. But I just wanted to put it out there just to see, if anybody else is suffering the same problems. Now, again, I'm struggling with this light. So I'm just going to show you this little video. It's only a short. So this is what I did.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on a very sad day here in Street, and I'm at the post office, which is going to close for the final time in a couple of minutes. And these wonderful people behind here, who are about to put their position closed sign up, are going to close for the very last time. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Street no longer has a post office in the WH Smith store, which itself closes tonight. Now, hopefully, this won't be the situation for long. The alternatives are West End Post Office, which is a very long walk in that direction, or Glastonbury Post Office, which is a bus ride in that direction. Hardly ideal if you're an old or infirm person who can't travel very far. But hopefully I'll be back at some point to report on the new post office opening. So let's hope that happens. But for now, I'd like to say a huge thanks to the staff who've run this post office all those years. And we hope that we'll be back soon to report on a new one opening. So goodbye.
And I was lucky enough, I purchased a stamp, which is still in my wallet, and I got a photograph. I was the last customer in that post office this week. So as I say, I mean, is this happening in your area? Could it happen in your area coming up, or has it happened in the past? I just want to take a kind of, Poppy, please don't do that. Kind of take a level of how this is going on in other areas.
Didn't your post office, the Royal Mail, didn't it privatize? Yes,
Royal Mail's been privatised for a long time.
I thought it happened recently. No, it's Parcel Force. Is it Parcel Force? Some just privatized a few weeks ago.
Yeah, basically what happened was we had the Royal Mail, which did all the parcels, all the letters, everything. It came under one national institution. Then they sold it off. But to sell it off, I believe it was, I'm not sure, was it the Tories? They sold everything. They sold it off, and the result of that was they split it into like the Royal Mail, which carried stuff, and the post office, which were the little offices you went into to pay your stamps and do that. So they separated those off. They've both been privatised for years. The Royal Mail side of it is further split, and Parcel Force was split off. It was part of Royal Mail. That is now split off. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not completely clear what the arrangements are, but they are not good. They've been hit by a huge increase in parcels because everybody's shopping online now, and they're trying to modernize to cope with that. But, there are courier companies which are far, far better. I mean, I don't know what other people's experiences. I prefer DPD. Because they give
Mary Fiddle says our post office closed and moved into the Spar shop.
Yeah, that's good. But you just got to hope that the Spar shop never closes, because if it does, you could lose your post office. That's what's happened here in Street.
Andrew says, my village lost its post office some 14 plus years ago. The local postman now has to collect pensions for the villagers and he delivers them along with the mail. A local going beyond the call of duty. That reminds me, Andrew, I have something for you that you will really like, and I haven't had a chance to mail it yet. But when I go home, I will get it done. You will really like it. It's there's two little things. There's two little things. Yeah.
I'm involved in getting something to stick onto one of them, aren't I? From Bristol.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Yeah, because I went and saw him, and he said he can do that. So that is a goer.
Oh, well, that will be quite wonderful. We have Jackie with us. Good evening, Gabriel and Jeff. Just managed to catch you. Happy New Year. Well, welcome. You're late.
Yeah,
we're glad you're here.
You. We're nice like that. We forgive you.
Yeah. We had a rash about 10 years ago where we closed a bunch of our post offices. They pared way down.
Yeah. I mean,
they're gonna have to figure out why we really need a post office. I mean, parcels have been privatized for a long time. We have FedEx and UPS and all that, and I mean, get a tablet, folks. It's instantaneous and free.
Yeah, the thing is, in this country, again, because we're smaller than you, the post office, and even now, the post office, to fulfill this one, they're very much a community service, especially when you get out of the big cities. In the big cities, it's not so much, it's horrible. But when you get out into the smaller communities, go up onto the Scottish Islands, go into the north of Scotland, and the postman will deliver your eggs. He'll bring things to you. He will give you a lift into town in his van. In fact, some of the post vans up there are minibuses, so they can give people a lift when they're stuck. It's a complete community service. And the post office traditionally was where you got your pension. So your old folk would get their pension book, which was a book full of little vouchers. And each week on your pension day, you take it to the post office. They would stamp the receipt. They would tear the sling off, and they give you your pension. And that happened, I think, weekly. Then they went monthly, and it had to be done through a bank and all that thing. Poppy, please don't do that. She's looking for kitty crack. And so, the old tend to go to the post office. And even now in Glastonbury, you get people chatting away. Oh, hello, Flo. How you doing? Hello, Ada, and blah, blah, blah. And all. Poppy, look, if you can't stop scratching, please just go away. And so, it's a community thing. And when you lose it, you lose that forever. And I'm really concerned that we're losing too much. They're taking too many things away. They're closing banks. They are closing post offices. All the things that people needed to use, they suddenly decide it costs too much money to provide, and they take it away.
I think as an American, I could make the assertion that you guys are more community-based than we are.
A lot of the time.
Community is much more important to you guys than it would be. I mean, in Montesano, I don't think there's that many community-based things.
Yeah, I mean, Glastonbury, for example, when somebody dies or something happens or somebody's in need, I've got to say, we have a very strong sense of community in this town, and that's often evident. It's like when go away then if you don't like it. When we lost the guy who owned the Viking shop a year ago, I did a video, and the turnout for that,
Well, and the guy that was involved in the community food bank too was named Dave Beach.
Dave Beach, another guy. I mean, He was
Yeah.
he had if you cut him in half, he'd have had the word community written through him like a stick of rock. That guy
Yeah.
lived for how he could help the community. He was an amazing guy. And again, there was an outpouring of sadness and love at the same time for this guy. It was incredible. I was glad I was able to film it because he touched a lot of people who no longer live here or have moved well away. And so in order to help those people, it was great to be able to film his funeral because it gave them closure if they couldn't come. And I know his family were very grateful for that.
Ian says when Rogate post office stores closed, they had a mobile van post office. It still comes around to local villages 1 day a week.
Yeah, and that's good because they're still providing that community service. That's the important thing. And whether it's a brick building or a van that goes around, as long as the van isn't taken away and it comes around when it says it will maintain the same purpose.
Ian says my NatWest has closed in Petersfield, so I used the post office for my personal and my business accounts. Was NatWest a bank?
Yes. Now that's another thing. Again, this is something I can talk to. I was a town councillor here in Glastonbury between 2015 and 2019, and in the same year that at the end of the same year I was elected, 2015, going into 2016, we had 3 banks left in town. One had already pulled out, the National, I can't think which one it was, but one of them had already pulled out. No, I can't begin. I can't think. Anyway, that had already pulled out when we had a Lloyd's, we had a Barclays, and we had a Midland or an HSBC. Those guys announced that they would all be closing within a couple of months of each other. So within a space of a couple of months, Glastonbury would go from having 3 banks to having no banks at all overnight. And so I started with a couple of other people. I started a campaign not to stop them leaving. We didn't want them. These people, they don't give a toss about the community. Take your banks, take your rich people and go away. We didn't want to know. What we were campaigning for was continuing bank provision. The first thing we did, we had 2 shops, the Co-op and the convenience store at the bottom of town, put in ATMs, which were free at the point of use. So people could still get money out. But you see, the thing is, when these banks close, they all say, oh, yes, but we're closing, but you've got a post office. Go and use the post office. And that's what they all say. They'll all say, oh, the post office can do everything that we can do for it. But then when you start closing the post offices, which were people's last backstop when the banks left, where does that leave you? Anyway, the campaign went through. We made several films because Kevin Redpath, a friend of mine, was involved. We made 2 films, I think, both of which got on national news. We had questions asked in Parliament. We had people at ministerial level involved, and we had a really good campaign. And the last bank to close was Barclays, and it closed at 1 o'clock. They always close these banks halfway through the day. I don't know why, but they do. And there was a huge crowd. It shut off the high street. Traffic couldn't get through. There was a huge crowd of people outside of this bank as the people left. And I was walking home from that event, and I was probably 5 minutes away after it had finished. My phone went, and I had a phone call saying, hi, this is so-and-so from the Nationwide Building Society. Would you be interested in us opening a branch in Glastonbury? And I said, we very much would. So I put these guys in touch with some other town council guys and some other people. And basically, we've now got a Nationwide in the high street. Now, it's not open. It used to be open 5 to 6 days a week. It closes on more days now. But Nationwide guarantee they will never close a branch. Once it's there, it's there. So they might reduce the hours it opens, but they will keep that branch open. And to their credit, where are we now? Nearly 8 years later, they're still there, serving the town with banking facilities. So fair play to them. But as I say, the thing that worries me is as these banks close, and I'm sure the people who've seen banks closing in the comments there will tell you the same thing. Oh, they all tell us we can go and use the post office. That's there to do all our banking in. Not when they close the post office, it isn't. Anyway, any comments there, Jeff?
Andrew Norris says, "Kitty crack, I want some of that." Yes, they do like their kitty crack.
Yeah.
Andrew Norris says, "You highlight the sense of community in Glastonbury, Gabe. Sometimes now in my village, it's only at funerals that I see some of my neighbors at the other end of the village. It's very sad. It's the way that it is." Station Master says, "I remember your video about the banks." Only thing I remember about your video about the banks, they were wearing cowboy hats.
That was what. Yeah, it was one of our films. We made two films. We've got a famous conductor lives locally that I know, and I brought him in, and we sang Jerusalem, which is kind of Glastonbury's hymn, at the Market Square, and we had, I think, nearly 2,000 people turn up. We had our MP, we had councillors, we had people from all over the place. The BBC were filming it, and he just led a live a cappella version of Jerusalem from the town cross there. And then we had this other film where we filmed it, and we had people going up the Tor in silhouette. But basically, it was getting the word out there that banks were leaving the communities they set out to serve. They were just closing. And see, the other thing is, we found they lied. Now, I'm sure everybody will be shocked when I tell them that high street banks lie, because they are the stones of virtue in our community. They would never lie. But for example, Lloyds Bank said the reason for closure was lack of footfall. So we had people outside clicking them in and clicking them out. And we talked to the people if they would talk to us on their way out. We proved that footfall was 15 times greater than the bank told it was. And they said, oh, people only ever come in, they don't ask for money, they only want things. People were coming in to cash checks, people were coming in to talk about their mortgage. They were basically, the bank were lying through their teeth. In fact, at one point, we actually put out a thing listing what their lies were and what the truth was. But they do it. It's like Ben Beeching closed the railways. I mean, that was closed on a bunch of lies predominantly. And it's the same thing. They make up the story to make it look like they're doing everybody a favour. Well, in actual fact, pussycat, well, in actual fact, they're the villains. They're the villains. And of course, the more banks close, the more they push us into cashless society because they want to control. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do not want to see a cashless society. I do not want to see it, because at that point, the banks can turn you off like that. They can flick a switch and your money disappears and you've got no control, you've got no comeback. Can you imagine with the state of some of the bank's call centres? Oh, my money's disappeared. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We'll do our best to help you today, sir. You know, no, it's not. It's a bad thing. We need to keep banks open. But people they're like sheep. All the banks closed. That doesn't bother me. I use my debit card and I bank online. Well, it will bother you when they turn your cash off because you've upset somebody at the bank. So
Ian says, Andrew Norris, only eat kitty crack in small amounts as it gives you whiskers.
It does, and you don't want whiskers. It's not a good look. You're quite right there, Ian.
That DISW Wow 77.
Di, hi Di. See you soon.
What was her name again?
Diane.
Diane.
Yeah.
Oh, I never can remember. We're glad you're here, Diane. It's nice to see you here again. She says, yep, it's a part-time building society. It's where Lloyd's used to be.
That's the one.
As I used to use Lloyd's and now I have to go to Wells instead. The banks say everyone is wanting online. No. Sweep the Cat says, no, I like cash. I'm old school.
Mm. Mm.
I could go either way on it. I don't use cash, but I think cash is something that people have to understand how much it costs. It's like, I'm not a dog person. And the reason that I'm not a dog person is because if you take a major town in America, like Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis, Houston, any of those, and you Google the amount that the Animal Welfare Society spends picking up stray animals, we're talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, the LA County, what they spend on animal control is millions. So I'm not really a dog person for that reason. But I think that people don't realize how much money costs. You have to print it, you have to warehouse it, you have to maintain it. We have people in America at the Treasury Department that when money comes back in the bank, they have people that inspect it. And they take the ones out that are torn and all that. I mean, they have to pay someone to do that.
I read somewhere that something like 54% of British banknotes have got traces of cocaine on them.
Yeah, it's the same way in America. You go to Florida and pretty much every bill that they check has traces of cocaine. Yes.
Mm. Quick question, folks, the ones that are left, and we've overrun tonight. I've just undone my dandelion and burdock, and it's got one of these new caps that you won't actually unscrews, but it won't come away. You fold it back. Does anybody like these? I mean, what do you think of them? I think the idea is that it stops this bit ending up, I don't know, somewhere, and they want the whole bottle to be thrown away. I don't know, but some people don't like it. Interestingly, Pepsi and Coke, I've noticed, don't use it. Also, I bought a milkshake yesterday. I was in Aldi's. By the way, I really like Aldi's. And they had a milkshake with it on. It kind of does fold back and stay back. But what do people think of it?
You go to Aldi's, you have to put a coin to use their grocery cart.
Same with Morrison's. I have a real love-hate relationship with Morrison's. Except there's no love involved. You go in there, it's dingy, the staff are miserable, it's not nice, the food is bland, the choice, half the shelves are empty. And the other day I'd gone out to film something and I just thought, I'll go and have a look in Aldi, and it was like walking onto the set of a brand new multi-million film. Everything was clean, everything was laid out, all the shelves were full, there were no gaps. And I bought myself what did I have? I had a salmon Wellington with cheese sauce in it, which makes Jeff feel ill because he doesn't like cheese and fish. It was gorgeous. I've got a lasagna tonight.
No beans for breakfast. No cheese with fish. No.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a man who would not only drink but would defend the art of iced tea, where they basically boil water up, put tea bags into it, boil it till nothing more comes out and it looks like tar, squeeze the bags, throw half a kilo of sugar in top and a load of ice cubes and drink it and call that refreshing. No. Give me beans at breakfast any day.
We better wrap this little adventure up and let people go on with their lives. I think
we should. We've gone on and on. We could probably go on and on for another hour, I guess. But no, you're right. We're going to say goodnight. Don't forget, in a week's time, it's Bernie's show over on his channel. And I believe we had a moment of Murphy recently, didn't we? I'm not sure if that's going to be regular or not. So that was
no, but it was very enjoyable. I'm hoping that we see more a moment of Murphy. we have the Wandering Ponderer too. He puts out videos usually on Saturday. He hasn't been very prolific lately, but he's had stuff going on. His videos are about Coggeshall, the little village that he lives in. They're very good. They come out Saturday morning. That would be the Wandering Ponderer. And the Station Master has a couple of new videos out. He has a travel video, which I only saw part of. I've been so busy, I haven't had the chance to finish it. And also, of course, his model railway videos are quite enjoyable. Yeah, they're very enjoyable. Also, I noticed that Andrew Norris put out a video
on a new channel.
I'm not sure. I'm hoping that he will put something in the comments and tell us where it is. I was going to go back and look at it, but I haven't done it yet. But it was a new video from Andrew Norris. Okay. And of course, we want to mention that because his videos are always quite good.
Yes. So this week's video, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, I visited a shop in Glastonbury called Vintrotique, I think it's called. It's an antique shop. Now, I don't really go in antique shops. As you can see, my place is cluttered. In fact, I'm going to be having a huge decluttering session soon. And so going to a shop which basically would sell me more clutter, I don't normally go into. So I went into this particular one because our friends from the north work with them and put some of their stuff in there. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fascinating just looking around at all the stuff that was available. And they were a lovely couple. They were in, I believe they were in Bournemouth. So that's coming out this Friday. And of course, if you can't wait, I'm sorry, but the following Friday, my legs will make their public debut via the London Underground. I must admit, if I had to show a part of my body, it's my legs. I think they're my best part. So I don't know. We will take a vote on that next time we come back in a fortnight's time. And you can see from the look on Jeff's face, he's not holding out high hope.
Well, this is the cross that I bear. You spend time and the sun is setting and you think, okay, this was an important part of my growing up. Wigwam burners. Center of the community, they were the focal point of the community. They were important. They had all these interesting aspects of the community. So you do all this research, you find all these pictures, you take pictures, you amass them, you edit it, you do all these things, and you get very, very few views. You do a video on body painting or something like that, and you get over 100,000 views. That's the cross I bear. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening, everyone. I won't rant anymore.
Last talk at the comments.
Andrew Norris says that his video was on Andrew Norris 1.
Okay. That's in this channel he already has. It's not a new channel. Because I've got to look up.
It was of William Blake and a Bosnian artist, Edin Namanan Katic.
Okay, yes, I will have a look at that because I do like Blake's work. I do.
Station Master says, danger, leg warning, danger. Will Robinson, danger. What? We need to tell everybody goodbye. It's been fun. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, Jeff and I've got to go and have our food. We've not eaten yet, and Jeff's had a really long day. So the cat you're cutting off. Okay, so thank you very much for coming along. I'm sorry about the cats. We will clear the place of Kitty Crack before the next show, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you a question which you can think about and come back in 2 weeks' time. Why does nobody use our call number and call into the show? There you go. There's a question. Why don't you ever call us? We've been going a year now, and hardly anybody ever rings in to have a chat. So
Allison said she was going to send you a video this week, though, of her guinea pigs popcorning.
Oh, is that?
I don't think I've ever seen a guinea pig popcorn, but I'll tell you, my dad grew up in Hamburg, Iowa, which is a very small town in Iowa, and it's called the popcorn capital of the world.
Oh, okay.
So when I was growing up, we had popcorn every Friday night. My dad would pop a big basket of popcorn, so I know all about popcorn, but I've never heard about popcorning guinea pigs. So we'll have a video of that next week.
That'll be good. I look forward to that. I like you cannot imagine what popcorning a guinea pig is. Is it like pickling a goat? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Jeff.
I don't know. I wouldn't even venture a guess, but we need to let everybody get on with their lives.
We do, and I've got my finger on the button. So good night from Jeff. Good night from me. Good night, Jeff.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.